Okay, right, here we go. 1 second. Okay. Hi, welcome everyone. Welcome to your morning, wherever you are currently. I hope you're all okay. Over here, it's been a bit busy this morning. I popped out for a dog walk and then went to go and see my mum. So, yeah, I took Lulu for a walkies and then ended up at my mum's house, which is not too far away. And Lulu got lots of cuddles and attention. So she's had a good run around the PARK. I can say it, she's sleeping. She's had a good run around the park. And then she got cuddles from my mum and some treats. And now she's exhausted. Lulu is currently flopped atop my bed. Just completely zonked. She's gone. She's fast asleep. So we'll probably see her wandering later. But yeah, she's fast asleep. How is my mum recovering? She's got good and bad days, Catnip. But thank you for asking. Good and bad days. For those unfamiliar, she's had some major surgery. So yeah, she's gradually recovering. Yeah. Right. Hi there, Ron Cole. Welcome, Ron Cole. Welcome indeed. Right. Sorry, just sipping this coffee. Okay, so please know that on the YouTube front, it is week number 4 on the latest bullshittery. It normally takes me between 4 to 5 weeks to finish any given bullshittery, and therefore I'm in the final stages, touch wood, of this video. The video is SWAT 4/Ready or Not bullshittery, so the clips from police cooperative, arrest the suspects type gameplay. Well, I've made SWAT bullshitteries before, so I'm sure people are familiar with them. Anyway. It's going fine. I've got a big laundry list of stuff I need to get through. I need to try and complete it in the next 2 days. That doesn't feel viable. I'm pretty sure I won't get it done on the end of the 4th week. So bear with me. It's probably going to creep into the 5th week. It's going fine though. I'm just going through and polishing and quality assuring, and yeah, everything's all right. I just need to spend as much time as possible on it. So be relatively in and out with the stream. Get straight on with work immediately, essentially. Yeah, so everything's fine, really. How is everyone in the chat? Hang on, I'll just load the game. Okay. Right. Looks like Watto. Yeah, now that you mention it. Okay. Wait a minute, this doesn't look right. Load game. I think I'm in the wrong location. Autosave, quick save. This is probably the right one. Sorry, no, 19th. Wait a minute. Autosave versus quick save. Why am I here? Okay, hang on. Oh no, wait a minute. Did my save not work? I seem to be behind a step. Shit. Hang on. Thank you, Tavuk. Thank you very much there, Tavuk. Hang on. Shit, I seem to be in front of Kuno again for some reason, as opposed to in the thing with my notebook. We might have to redo some dialogue. Shit. Okay. Hi there, Toxic. I'm looking forward to going fishing again. Definitely. Really, really looking forward to getting, to going fishing again. Right. Thank you, CDR Fox. Okay. Anyway, sorry, just reading the chat. Liberator says, you're on the fence with RimWorld, because it seemed like a game I was more likely to watch than play, but damn is it worth playing. Absolutely. Absolutely indeed. Did I save when trying to interact with the ledger? I can't remember, Blue Devil. Shit. Okay, right, so let's have a look.
Hear that? Magnesium.
Oh.
That's what you're lacking. The lack of magnesium has you slouched.
Not now, Composure. My magnesium level is fine. I discard that thought. Right, Kuno's got this. Kuno, you little shit, what do we speak about?
Fuck does Kuno care?
Kuno, I want to discuss the body with you.
The fuck about it?
Good. Okay, we've already had a conversation with this little shit. More on that later.
You're testing Kuno's patience here. Get lost,
So sadly, what we've learned in the prior thing is that Kuno and her little friend Kuno Essie over there, her name's Kuno Essie, sadly these two never had a chance, did they? These two children, seemingly denied an education, are already off their faces on, what is it, amphetamines, I think it is? There's some drug over there. Yeah, I mean, it's not necessarily his fault he's a little shit. You're meant to, yeah, I'm guessing a total lack of parental guidance. Sorry, for those unfamiliar with Disco Elysium, It's a really, really dark game. Everywhere you go, you scratch the surface and you find that this world, it doesn't have super mutants and the Master and all the horror shows of Fallout, but it is just as dark. You scratch away the paint and you realize that this world, or at least not necessarily the world, but certainly this city, is fucked. It's fucked in a way that it can't easily get unfucked. Not without... I don't even know. I don't even know how to unfuck this world. Sorry, bear with me. I just need to blow my nose. Hang on. Thank you to Vuk. Thank you to Vuk. And thank you Zenith and Aero Hitch. One moment, please. There we go. Thank you to Vuk, and thank you Fox, if you're still there. Mr. Robotin, Butterfly Juice, and Twiggy, and Numbskull. Thank you, all of you. Anyway, sorry, what was I saying? But yes, this world just seems really, really, really dark from the lack of a stable state that is able to keep capitalist interests in line, causing capitalist interests to just suck this place dry like it's a fucking... You know, like, it's basically a raisin now. The capitalists have really sunk their teeth in. To a communist uprising with rising nationalist and pseudoscience racist sentiment, to unions infested with organized crime. Yeah, it just and possibly even the potential maybe for like blossoming communist revolution maybe. Like it feels like this is a world where there is no... Oh, sorry, and people are steeped in escapism. Everywhere there's escapism with like Conan the Barbarian style books. Again, tinged with a sort of nationalistic hatred. It feels like this is a world that's broken and there's no one interested in saving it because it's being ruled by foreign powers who are just carving it up and well, selling it off to the capitalists. It's really, really, really dark. And I mean, my role in particular, and I'm just a detective, and it seems that we're trying to preserve the status quo, but the status quo doesn't even seem like it's worth saving.
The fuck about it?
Hang on. More about that later.
Your test. Get lost!
Blah, blah, blah. Right, I'm off.
Kuno.
And poor Kuno, I know he's a little arsehole, but he's just a symptom of the problem. You need to, obviously, give shelter kids, yes, but give them solid boundaries. You need to give them the childhood necessary to grow into the people that they're going to become, to make things better, to take knowledge, the human knowledge, and push it just that little bit further. Kuno will never do that. Kuno will never do that.
The trash container stands in the spring snow.
Okay. So presumably we've got everything from there. Hang on. Right, so what did we do last? So I did get the level up point. So who put the clothes in the trash? Read the ledger, name the case. Okay, we haven't... Yeah, let's do that again quickly. Ask the gardener about gardening in March. Okay, that's where we were. So we've just gone through the trash, so we've just got to quickly redo the conversation. Right, let's go have a word with the gardener. So we deemed it a little bit suspicious that the gardener was working in the greenhouse in March. So we're just going to have a chat with her about it.
I can't believe it's snowing again.
The young woman watches the falling snow and sighs.
It felt like springtime just a few days ago.
Tell me, what exactly were you doing in the greenhouse in March?
Well, this might be the last snow we get. At least I hope so.
She points to the wheelbarrow, surprised at the question.
Snow has nutrients in it. Helps everything green up in the spring. At least that's what my grandma always told me.
Yes, think about the cute grandma, not the weird snow.
So visual calculus, the role that we did before, disingenuous grandma. Not sure why that makes it. So basically, visual calculus. Again, sorry. Speaking to the people unfamiliar with the gameplay, I've got facets of my brain that I can upgrade, like a detective, essentially, as in like elements of a detective. Visual calculus in my intellect tree is my ability to reconstruct a crime scene. So let's use it. We'll roll on visual calculus.
Stop looking at her. Look around. What do you see?
A traffic jam.
That's right. And the canal, the bookstore, the harbor gates. This is a great vantage point for keeping an eye on you.
So I note it, but I keep it to myself.
Glad to have been of service. Now you know the locals are keeping tabs on you.
So visual calculus is suggesting that it's got nothing to do with the garden and she's just watching the crime scene and the RCM. Watching us and seeing what we do. Okay. I have to run. Thank you to Vuk and Zenith. Okay, let's go over here. So let's return the key to the manager. That's what we did before.
Can I help you?
So thank you for the keys to the trash container.
Thanks. I hope you found what you were looking for.
So I found the victim's clothes, the murder victim's clothes.
How strange. I certainly didn't put them there.
Could one of your staff have put them in there?
Sylvie had the keys before I got here, and I can vouch for her. I can vouch for all my staff. None of us would tamper with the crime scene.
Who else has the keys to the trash container?
The trash collection service? CS Municipal. I don't see why they would put anything in the trash, though.
Ah, the elusive CS Municipal. I doubt we'll be able to track down who was sent here last and when. This will have to be one of those little threats that solves itself down the road. Thank you anyway.
Okay, thank you. Let's talk about something else.
Yes?
Okay, goodbye. Sorry, just quickly retracing my steps. So at this point, I decided to open up the ledger that I found. So, soaked in the trash I found. Where is it? The case file. So it seems that I flushed my detective notes.
It's the ledger
That's
you
right.
found in the trash. A pitiful cabbage of white and yellow papers hanging from plastic board, barely held together by a metal clip. This sad display is made complete by the faint smell of urinal cleaner.
Anything else?
There's a piece of toilet paper, or is it cleaning tissue? No, it's toilet paper, desperately sticking to the back of the blue plastic clipboard. It's a metaphor for you.
Hi there, Jeff man. You finished the other Disco Elysium VODs. You're loving the playthrough, hearing the perspective on things compared to when you were playing. Cool. Welcome indeed, Jeff man. Yes, again, speaking to people joining the stream, if I ask any questions, they're not even rhetorical questions, because it's just me speaking my mind. So don't worry, if I ask weird questions, I'm not fishing for the answer to the chat. I'm actually just speaking what's in my brain as a habit of a competent live streamer.
Thank you, Waterlogged Ledger, for spelling it out for us.
Which I hope I am. So inspect the toilet paper.
It's just toilet paper sticking to the back of the plastic clipboard. You can take it off if you want.
I'm gonna leave it there. It's cool.
Way cool. It says, everyone look at me and my toilet paper covered cop ledger. I don't care. My ledger is droopy and it smells like a urinal.
I inspect the clip.
An aluminium block runs the width of the board, biting down on the paperwork. Its crocodile teeth are the only thing keeping the papers together. A regular pencil, the tip worn down to nothing, has been attached to the clip.
I run my fingers across the aluminium.
The surface is interrupted by a silvery sticker. It's rectangular, sparkling with iridescence. You don't know how you didn't notice it before. Looks like an official mark, made to be low visibility outside the right circumstances. It is similar to the RCM watermark on your blazer the lieutenant mentioned. Didn't he say something about the headlights of his motor carriage? That you can read these there?
Lieutenant, isn't this one of the hologram watermarks you mentioned? I point at the sticker.
What? Yes, halogen watermark used for adding information to RCM property.
Interesting. What kind of information?
It depends. Aside from an anti-counterfeiting stamp, mine has my station number and address. The information varies by date of issue.
Maybe yours will have how many cases you've solved.
How can I read it?
Any capable light with the right wavelength will do.
You mentioned the headlights of your Kanema.
Yes, RCM vehicles have headlights tuned especially to reveal halogen watermarks.
This means you can read the watermarks if you just turn the lights on.
Okay, thank you.
Okay,
He returns to his neatly kept notes.
While a bunch of sodden papers sag from the clipboard in your hand. It's a sorry sight.
Browse the white papers.
They're not exactly white. They're yellowed in patches by sunlight and alcohol, and covered in dense blue handwriting. Ink escapes into watercolor patterns, reaching its tendrils across entire pages. The paper itself is checkered, with faint red lines, forming short paragraphs. Once in a while, there's a red stamp that exclaims, "Case files, commit to paper." The case files themselves are plenty. You count more than 100 sodden, crumpled up, earmarked pages falling apart in your hands. They appear to be sufficiently organized and extremely dense, if mostly illegible.
Wait a minute, I missed that before. Once in a while there's a red stamp that exclaims case files commit to papers. Does that imply that they are my specific case files? More than 100? If I'm making 2 a month, does that are these years and years worth? Is this my entire career? Is what I'm trying to say? Or are these clipboards handed from police officer to police officer? Thank you, Lunar Moon. Thank you very much there, Lunar Moon. That's very kind of you. Right.
Work, strife, poverty, the Jamrock Quarter. These are handwritten logs of investigations dating back to January 51, this year. The exact number is hard to estimate due to missing pages and an odd naming convention. But there are at least 20, maybe 30 cases undertaken, not completed, mind you.
My mistake. So there's many, many pages per case. Sorry, I thought it meant like 100 cases, 100 pages. Got it. Sorry, 2 weeks, Blue Devil. Did I say 2 months? Sorry, 2 weeks, yes.
It's the middle of March. You have attempted 2 cases a week on average. What do you mean? Is that all?
Okay. That's it?
The notebook is annual. It says 51 on what remains of its cover. A molten strap of cardboard. Everything prior to this must have belonged to a previous volume. In short, there was more.
Okay. Is 2 cases a week a good caseload, Lieutenant?
Huh? 2 complex cases to undertake is a lot, yes. You really have to push yourself. I would not suggest it, lest you start making mistakes.
Okay. I nod and I return to the case notes.
Arson, petty theft, spousal abuse. Handwritten logs on dozens of investigations date back to January 51. Stamped case files, commit to paper. These are your last couple of months in Revachol, Precinct 41, Jamrock Quarter.
Thank you, Lunar Moon. Thank you for subbing, Lunar Moon. And thank you, Zenith and Tavuk. Okay. So there was a mention of a naming convention.
Yes, it appears you employ a, shall we say, robust yet literary system. Each investigation has its case number written on the margins. Yet, still more tellingly, most are accompanied by a name. A title, one might say even. One that draws inspiration from snoop fiction and vespertine cop show staples.
Oh my, they're written in capital letters as well. I'm afraid not, Epa. For some reason it didn't save. I'm pretty sure I did hit save. I don't know why it didn't.
Yes, all caps. One is called The Next World Mural. Another, The Square Bullet Hole Murders. Another yet, The Unsolvable Case. Others appear more light-hearted. The guys on a couch in an unexpected location, and the murder at the hookah parlor. Even the rare article-free collapsing tenement. Murder features prominently throughout. It's going to take an effort to piece these case files together, but it can be done. Once you're done inspecting them up close.
Kim, my cases appear to employ some kind of naming convention.
You mean the alphanumeric? Officer, precinct, time of arrival at the scene?
No, I mean non-numeric, like ones with titles.
Oh, you mean the titular? Yes, well, so do I. In our defense, almost everyone in the RCM does.
Thank you for saying so, Zavin. Yes, as I frequently bring up, a good, the chat can't read the live streamer's mind, as nice as that would be. Maybe, possibly, probably not in my case. So the live streamer has to explain what's in their brain, otherwise, why watch? But thank you very much, Zavin. Okay, I ask, why is that?
It's a holdover from the early days of the RCM, right after the revolution, when the organization had little idea how to do things. It persists in an unofficial capacity, Officers use these titles to refer to their work among themselves.
I seem to have named a case the Square Bullet Hole Murders.
Again, in your defense, I seem to have named one the man with the hole in his head. That was a real person. His death was real. Still, I named it that, to amuse myself.
I suppose also, if you're dealing with such horror on a regular basis, you need some levity.
I pray his loved ones never find out.
What happened to him?
Rail spiked through the head. He died. It was a workplace accident.
Okay, I count the pages. I have to open an official case. So for this case that I'm working on, is there room?
There is, for precisely one more. 15 pages near the end remain untouched by the damage. The checkered grid forms a structure of passages, breaking the case into subtasks to accomplish. Once all the tasks are accomplished, the case is complete.
Commit to paper using the pen that Lena gave me.
The tasks you've completed flow out of the kind green ape pen in a brash freehand similar to the rest of the letters. The wording comes easily. It's almost robotically simple, a language developed for mental rigor and simplicity. Inspect the victim's body. Interview the cafeteria manager.
Bartender.
It's not exactly poetry, but poetry would be out of place.
Cross out the ones you've already finished. So for those joining the stream and those who have not seen the game, there's a gentleman lynched up on a tree, a dead body on a tree, just outside this this hostel. So on the north side, behind in the backyard area, garden.
A satisfying slash sounds across the paper. You're done, it seems to say. And you, and you. You're a swashbuckler with that pen, Harry, and it feels good. Feels like completion.
Thank you, interfacing.
Things to be done and things already done. The composition of reality. This is an extremely useful tool for a detective of the Citizens Militia. Now all that remains is to name the case.
Lieutenant, have you by any chance named our case?
No, actually. Any ideas?
So last night, so my options were the Hanged Man, the Furies Are at Home in the Mirror, the Setting Sun, or Shit on a Stick. As funny as number 4 is, I went with number 1, the Hanged Man, and the Lieutenant seemed to approve.
Great. That's great. That's actually what I was thinking too. The Hanged Man. Good, strong name. We have a very good name for the case now. I'm going to start calling it the Hanged Man. It's good we sorted this out.
Right. Cool. Right, so I'm done inspecting these. I close the case files.
You don't exactly close them, so much as distance yourself from the smelly papers. They're a little further from your nose now.
Okay, so now that so my logic roll here, now that Kim has explained the system, 92% chance to succeed. Right, so browse the yellow, read the case files now.
Yes, you can piece them together using the alphanumeric code on the margin. It always begins with HDB 41, then date of initialization and time of arrival on the scene, followed by the title. For example, HDB 41120111700, the Next World Mural.
Wait, HDB 41? Weren't those officer precincts?
Why, yes, your precinct number is 41.
And HDB?
Every last alphanumeric in the files begins with it. And these are your case files. It's safe to say HDB are your initials.
Oh, I don't know what to say to that.
I got nothing here either. Logic really isn't the best faculty to have this conversation with. But it's the one you got. So sorry.
No worries. How long does it take to read a case?
It takes about half an hour to piece one together, using the system you've devised. Where do you want to start?
This is where I got to last night, everybody. So we read The Next World Mural, The Unsolvable Case, The Square Bullet in the Head Murders. We didn't do the other two, so we're nearly there, folks. Now, sadly, I discovered last night that, it ended on a very dark note, because the detective, the character that I'm playing with, is a huge piece of shit, and I'm discovering just how much of a huge piece of shit he is, and we'll learn it here, particularly with one of these cases in a minute. But we'll start with the Next World mural again.
This one is relatively easy to reconstruct. Overnight on 1202, a graffito, nay, a mural, appears on an 8-story tenement overlooking central Jamrock. The building is a sparsely inhabited ghost tower, part of a failed real estate development called Grand Couronne. Cause of failure: rent too high. The mural is enormous. 2 silhouettes, a man and a woman, are kissing. The text cut into their form reads, "True love is possible, only in the next world. For new people, it is too late for us. Wreak havoc on the middle class."
So what that means, and what I think it means, of course, is that, well, true love is possible, according to the sponsor of the mural, only to the people in the next world. So I believe that's saying not here. Afterlife? Not here, at least. For new people. And I think that's referring to people who were born in the new, or after the new, which is the period of time after the revolution, I think. So it's saying that there's no hope. There's no hope for anything here. Wreak havoc on the middle class, so basically take revenge on those responsible. But again, as I argued last night, I don't feel it's the middle class. I think the culprits are truly the ultras, by the sounds of it. The ultra-capitalist libertarians. The rich, basically, not the middle class. The middle class suffered along with them. They got extinguished, essentially, or fled.
People call it
But that's an
that
assumption.
thing and that fucking thing. It's visible for miles. In 2 days, the station's complaints desk gets clogged with requests to remove the bummer. You and your partner are assigned to the case. The graffito crew is easy to track down. Only the belles lettres have the literage of industrial paint to cover the surface. One of the graffito artists is rumored to be rich. They take responsibility for the execution, but not the design. The ideologue of the Next World mural, as the crew calls it, remains an unknown.
Read on.
The crew agrees to clean up after themselves. However, your partner, JV, is against the removal, citing public support for conservation. This leads to a debate in Precinct 41, which then spreads to the streets of Jamrock, ending in a rare plebiscite organized by you and the rest of Row 3.
Interesting. So reading that more carefully this time round, so it was actually organised by us. So an in-precinct debate about the merits of this protest art, effectively. This massive mural on the side of the building decrying the state of the world and how fucked everyone is, and how essentially one should take revenge against the middle classes. So an in-precinct debate split into a vote amongst the people of the area, of Jamrock, I guess, for whether or not the mural should be kept.
The 9,000 people subjected to the mural's message, all of Lakeside, Central Jamrock, and Villa Lobos, plus half of the eminent domain, participate in the vote. Although the case begins with what appears to be a lot of rambling on the streets as to how juvenile and stupid the mural is, given a choice between 2 options.
So last night, and I'm going to click it again just to repeat all the actions that I did last night, I made a weird choice. I'm going to stick with it. So this is asking you, the player, specifically, what would you do in this situation? What if you went outside and there was a great big mural? I live in Brighton and Hove. There are murals everywhere. There are murals absolutely everywhere. When you go into central Brighton, there are these great big murals like street art, graffiti. There's so many of them. They're just all over the place. It's one of the reasons why you see YouTubers crop up here and you see them filming, I don't know, music videos or something against the murals of Brighton. If you just Google image Brighton murals, you'll see what I mean. They're all over the place. It's very bohemian, they're all on the sides of pubs or whatever. So if I were to go outside and find that there's a great big thing saying, millennials and Gen Z, is that the next one? You're all fucked. Eat the rich. Again, I kind of agree with the message, personally, but then this is where I voted weirdly. I voted remove the mural here because, surely there's a better way to do this than to just sort of, spray some paint illegally on the side of a building that you don't even own or whatever. But again, that my own vote last night doesn't make any sense, because why would I agree with the message of the art but somehow say that, oh, you can't protesting bad? You know, my decision was stupid, but I'm going to stick with it anyway. I'll disagree with my own decision from last night, but in the interest of repeating that mistake, I vote to remove the mural.
A staggering 78% of voters choose to keep it. Turns out the opposition were a loud minority. And that love truly is possible in the next world for new people. And it is too late for us.
Yeah. So, and conversely, what a bummer. What a bummer thing to have on the side of the thing. Fuck. One can change their mind, sure, but in the interest of not like retroactively changing the decisions I made last night, Bella. Okay. Yeah, so all that remains is to wreak havoc on the middle class. So again, this decision last night, the middle class are not to be blamed. It's human nature. I like it, but we can't wreak havoc on can't we wreak havoc on other nations instead? What? I must have voted and possibly even lobbied to remove the thing because I don't believe in that rubbish one bit. So the problem is, the option that I would pick is not here. The blame doesn't go onto the middle class, it goes on to essentially billionaires. It goes on to your tech bros, your people who are working hard to disrupt everything for the sake of lining their own pockets. That's not really the middle class, is it? Your aim is much more narrow, or at least in my opinion it should be. You should be eating the rich, not the middle class. Thank you, Scarthy and Mardbot. I mean, the middle class should be eating the fucking rich as well. Fuck it, let's just all just eat the rich. Let's just do that. I'm totally on board with this. Okay, so all that remains is to wreak havoc on the middle class.
In any case, it appears to have been a rare case of civil activity in the quarter. And agreement as well. What do you want to tackle next?
Ah, fuck. Well, that's the trouble. I don't know, Pit Peaches. I haven't really... Sorry, I'm making some assumptions here. You must forgive me. I'm making some assumptions because I haven't really seen them. I assume that there is no middle class because this world has been divided up by a coalition, and seemingly all the mineral rights and petroleum rights and everything have been sold off by corporations, like corpo interests, the ultra-libertarians. They're just called them the ultras. And because everything is so run down and no one seems to have any money, I'm making the assumption that the middle class doesn't exist in Revachol. But again, I don't know if that is true. Maybe later I'll bump into some people, maybe I'll bump into some, I don't know, like, how would the game present the middle class? I guess like scum lords, like some asshole fucking second home owning renters, like landlords. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see where the game takes me. Anyway. Right. So let's read the Square Bullet Hole Murders, which is the second one that I read last night.
It would be very interesting to read about these, wouldn't it? I mean, there seems to be a square-shaped entry wound in the victim's forehead. She's been sitting there for weeks, on her rocking chair, with a square hole in her skull, staring at the wall, her mouth agape.
But...
That's all you got. From the half hour you spent piecing it together, all you know is the entry wound was square-shaped. You never found the bullet. And then another body showed up, also with a square hole in his forehead.
A sequence killer?
Who knows? Those pages are missing. What next?
The bartender strikes you as middle class? No. Yeah, he'd be working class, surely. I don't see him managing a bunch of flea-bitten fucking, I don't think he's middle class. If he was like renting, if he owned the place and he was renting it or whatever, leasing it, then maybe, but he owns 3 different bars? No, he manages. He doesn't own them. I asked him if he owned the Whirling. He said no. He doesn't own them. He just manages for them. Okay, who knows?
One day you may still catch the man with the square gun.
So I theorized last night that the man with the square gun in this case it's probably like it's probably not a gun. It's probably not something with a projectile that flies forward because obviously you want a projectile to spin. Maybe it's not a gun. Maybe it's like a rivet gun or something, like something short with like an aperture that would be square that you can fucking poke a hole in somebody. I don't know. Right. Anyway, this is where we got to. We're nearly here. So this is the one that made me go fuck. The unsolvable case.
AKA Leslie and Burke, AKA the public indecency drunk and the property damage drunk, is a cursed case. It has been passed from unsuspecting officer to unsuspecting officer for 10 years. On January 29, the unsolvable case made its way to you. Why you accepted it, it is unclear. Every officer, and indeed most civilians in Jamrock, know it's unsolvable.
No, 42 Orpheus, he's definitely the bartender. No, he's definitely the bartender. What are you talking about? He's the bartender. You got annoyed when I called him the bartender. He's definitely the bartender. Look at him. He's tending the bar. See, that's the patron.
Leslie will always take his pants off when he's drunk. Burke will always trash everything. It's just what they do. It is their nature. You cannot change the nature of a man. And you can't lock them away because public indecency and small-scale property damage are not punishable by incarceration. The only way for Leslie to stop flashing his genitals to bypassers and for Burke to stop dismantling signage and rear-view mirrors would be for them to stop drinking alcohol, which, in their 40s or 50s, it's hard to tell because of their distorted features, is a medical improbability on par with you ceasing to produce the expression.
Thank you, Zerg. Thank you very much there, Zerg.
Threatening, fines, dragging them to the station, locking them up in the hellholes they live in, locking them up in the station, hypnotherapy, even trying to get the local gang of Zemyaki to take them out. The Zemyaki gave them ethanol, so Burke and Leslie would expose and rampage even harder. You tried it all, and still the complaints wouldn't stop, as they hadn't stopped for 10 years. It's plain to see from the files that you, Satellite Officer JV, and Special Consultant TH had more important cases to attend to. You uncover cross-reference to several ongoing investigations, each brought to a standstill every time you drive down Main Street. Because there they are, on the corner of perdition. And what is Leslie doing?
Leslie's the one who does public indecency when they're drunk.
Good, you're learning. If the files are to be trusted, that's all there is to it. That and Burke breaking things, and the fact that they're both drunk. But then again, so are you. The case becomes considerably less comic one day when Burke takes a swing at your ledger.
Hi there, Jinx. Is the game fun? Is it? Yeah, the game is thus far very good. It's very heavy. The game is fascinating mechanically because it's an RPG that's leaned in super heavily on the dialogue to the point that, very briefly diverting from this case, to the point that the dialogue trees are not simple roles, but you've got all these facets that you can level up to do with detective skills, like your logic abilities, your hunches, your physical, like reactions, and even like drug addiction or whatever. So you can have all these different options appear when you, say, observe a crime scene. And as a detective, we're going through learning... like we're going through a world like a anthropologist, somebody going over, like flipping over rocks to see what's beneath them, and we're discovering this rich world of Revachol, which is a city that experienced a communist revolution about 40 to 50 years ago, and since then has just been fucking crashing from, I don't want to say one crisis to another, but it's like a big political melting pot where repeatedly the game will turn to you as the player and ask you what you believe. And you have to sort of... It's fascinating. It's a really extremely engrossing world where everything you look at is filled with creativity and soul. Anyway, on the case file, he says that the public nudist, or the indecency, and the Burke, so the guy who likes breaking things when he's drunk, one day... he tried to take a swing at the ledger in my hand as a detective.
He must have it confused with the property he likes to damage. But the joke's on him. You're drunk out of your mind on potent Pilsner. You slam the hardened plastic board in his face. Then you proceed to beat him unconscious with it.
Fuck.
In the process, the ledger sustains damage. The compartment within, reserved for permeable documents, is jammed shut. You stop your assault on the now unconscious Burke to open it, but are unable to do so. The officer began to cry, reports Leslie, who, at this point, is tending to Burke.
Fuck.
He came at us, and at us. I think he was trying to kill Burko. While trying to kill Burko, you slowly come around. The permeables compartment is open. You've smashed it open on poor Burko's kneecaps. The good news is, Burke can't walk anymore. Can't get out of his apartment, an invalid. With Burke to tend to, Leslie cuts back on the indecent exposure. Maybe he flashes his genitals to Burke. Who knows? But both drunks are off the street. The complaints stop. The unsolvable case is solved.
That's so fucking dark. So we've learnt previously that my detective is an unstable, womanizing, alcoholic, incompetent piece of shit. And at some point, drunk off his fucking face, he beat a man into a wheelchair.
Which is also why the officer responsible narrowly escapes a disciplinary hearing. The end. Do you want to read another one?
Womanizing. Well, I assume so, Pip Peaches. According to a prior thing, I grabbed a woman and held her against her will for 20 minutes. Did it say in my room or her room? I can't remember. So I would presume. That's an assumption. Basically, I sound like a huge fucking piece of shit. What's the couch in an unexpected location? So here we are, folks. So this is as far as I ever got.
Some assholes brought their couch outside and hung out on it. In the middle of the street, on the roof, on the hillside by the motorway. You know, at an unexpected location. They were young, and they thought they looked cool on it.
Okay, really? We're wasting our time with that sort of thing? Just send the fucking trashmen to pick up the sofa when they're not there. They actually look like arseholes. They look really cool like models. They look really cool like a rock band. So the game is asking what I think. I don't think of any of these things. I don't think they look like arseholes more so than they said they look cool.
Insufferable dicks. Young people are the worst. So anyway, you got a complaint about the damn sofa, or couch, or whatever it is. They were leaving it out in all these unexpected and whimsical locations. They took it to where they also took photos of themselves on it, and smoked cigarettes, and drank coffee because they felt it's intellectual. Cigarette butts, coffee cups, stupid couch. You had to clean it all up, and you did. So congratulations to you. Case solved.
It's just littering. Does that really require a detective? It's just littering. Who cares? Just give them a light fine. Did I ever catch those guys?
No, you didn't have time for that. These notes show that you have what is called a real goddamn job. You don't have time to be chasing down the couch assholes. You have a real job to do. What next?
Good. Good. Again, I keep pointing out these different... Sorry, in my brain, I keep pointing out these little things in Revachol that are making me at least positive that things aren't totally... I mean, things are a shit show, but at least there's already trade. There's work in the harbour. There are goods still coming and going. There are people still buying things. And the response to a bunch of people littering wasn't something draconian, if you know what I mean. So I at least extremism hasn't crept into the RCM. Things could be worse on that front. Imagine a thing about, you know... Oh yeah, what the fuck? Oh, good point. Time tasks. Yeah, good shout. It's around about the right time, isn't it? We need to go find that dude. Okay. Real goddamn job. Okay, I can revisit this later.
Not much has changed in the meanwhile. A bunch of sodden papers still sags from the clipboard.
Cool. Put the ledger away. Okay, then do that. Can I save it? No. Save it. Okay, I can't save it. This must have been what I did wrong. So a thought bubble has appeared.
Jamais vu. Derealization.
Here we go. So it's like a talent
Jamais
I've
vu.
unlocked.
The opposite of déjà vu. Not already seen, but never seen. Everything that should be familiar appears strange and new, like some half-forgotten day in your childhood. Only now. That's the feeling you've been having. And for who knows how long. You should go and ask Joyce Messier about this. What world are we in? This is a fundamental question.
So this is something that so he's referring to Joyce. Joyce is the corporate negotiator who's here to speak with the unions who are in the middle of a rather nasty strike. Anyway, she was quoting off all of these names, all of these organizations that are apparently in Revachol, and my character experienced a strange feeling, like I couldn't recognize the names, and I found it all odd and concerning. So I had the ability to internalize that thought. So we'll go to speak to Joyce again and see what she knows. Like, what am I feeling here? She suggests that my rampant alcoholism has given me a, what is it, what was it again? Like some sort of like memory loss problem due to a deficiency of vitamin something. Vitamin B? A? Can't remember. Anyway, let's go speak to her and see what she thinks. So what's this? For getting this talent, I suppose, +1 experience for every orb clicked. All intellect learning cap raised by 1. Right. Okay. We can't unlock these without subsequently having to unlock them with a talent point. Which we... total 6? Level up. I do have a... no, level up? I think I've got a talent point available. Okay. Right, let's go speak with Joyce then. So hang on, the time. So it's currently, it's 18 minutes to 10. So, we have a task that is... hang on, where is it? Who put the clothes in the trash? Read the watermarks in the, in the headlight of the, we'll go check that out. It's on the way. Where is it? We need to speak to who I think might be a witness to the murder. And they've gone away. Where are they? Smoker on the balcony. Visit the apartment after 9 o'clock to see if anyone's home. Okay. Let's go. Take care, Lena. Ah, it's night time now. Right, let's go just, put the lights on in front of the, this is a Kanema? It's a type of vehicle. Something was weird about this vehicle. It gave me a strange
Inside,
response.
you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone, a pull-out toolbox, and the soft glow of the fuel preheater gauge.
Kim, how do I turn on the headlights?
All right. Ready? I turn, you press start. It's next to the preheater.
He turns the preheater on, waits, takes out his keys and says, all right. 1 second. Oh, fuck. The dog has emitted a horrific smell from her anus. I know why. It's because I've made the mistake of buying these, I think, duck-flavoured and parsnip. Duck-flavoured and sweet potato chewy treats. Lulu loves them, but they're making her gas absolutely unbearable. Holy crap, it stinks in here. Ugh. I was reaching for some air freshener, but I've already taken it back to the bog. I'm sorry, it's too much. I have to go get the air freshener. God, it really fucking stinks. Oh, fuck. Lily, come here. Lily, come. Good. Sit. She's like, ooh. Ugh. Stinks. It's so bad. It stinks so much. Oh, God. Thank you, Thozzle. And hi there, Digby. Hang on a minute. Yes, Digby. Don't worry, I won't do spoil. If you're still there, Digby, I won't do spoilers. I won't even show the gameplay for the minute. Hard recommend Disco Elysium. It is, well, I'll just show you this briefly. Hang on, it's not really a spoiler. Hard recommend for Disco Elysium. It is a detective RPG where mechanically the developers have spent this huge amount of time on the conversation trees, because you've got this here. You've got like talents in your brain which chip in like different, well, it's the same narrator, but like different elements of your brain will chip in as you investigate the crime scene, like logic or your encyclopedic knowledge of like, ooh, a brand of cigarette. You smell the cigarette and go, oh, this is a cigarette made in 40 whatever. And then maybe like empathy, like that will come in and say, she's feeling upset about something because her mother died, or you know what I mean? As in, if you level them up, it will come in with completely different things, presumably making a second playthrough very interesting as you go down a completely different route. Yeah, or electrochemistry, which is constantly like you inspect the crime scene, there are drugs on the floor, wouldn't they be better up your nose? And you're like, shush, stop it, stop it. But it's free drugs, bro. Anyway, it's good, it's good. Alright, so he turns the preheater. Here we go. So press engine start on the car.
The dashboard lights up with orange glow. The rounds per minute gauge jumps, and the engine of the Caprice Kinema comes to life with a whiny growl.
That's what I heard at the start of the game. That's the thing that woke me up. Okay. Also, hi there, Dodge.
Like a leopard waking from its sleep, yawning and roaring at the same time.
Okay, press the headlight button.
The lights unfold with a little click, casting electrical light onto the ground before the vehicle.
There you go. I'll turn them off from the remote once you're done. We just need to stand in front of the machine now.
I close the door. Cool, thank you, Kim. Okay, so motorist
As you
check.
hold your ledger's clip under the headlamp, an iridescent hologram appears. A street grid and the veins of a great river. A familiar sensation washes over you.
There she is. Revachol West.
There's a note of pride in the lieutenant's voice.
Around the borders of the watermark are dozens, no, hundreds of micro-perforations.
I look at the perforations.
There are many of them, and they are divided into 3 separate rows.
Tally up the rows.
The first row has 18 dots.
The next one?
The next is the longest. It runs all the way around the border, and then some.
Compass points, maybe? Degrees on a compass? Count them individually. Are there 360 of them?
You count 216 perforations. Considering that nice, large number, a wave of pride washes over you. Though you can't say why, precisely.
I don't know. What does it mean? 216 perforations. No, wait. 200. Sorry, it's. I thought we were looking at like a grid of a map because of like the river thing. Are they stars or something? Nice large number. A wave of pride. Are we counting stars on a flag? You know. They indicate something to do with the old empire or something. What about the last row?
The last row has 3 perforations. That's it.
Huh, okay. What do all these holes mean? Look at the shimmering street grid.
The rectangular watermark is overlaid with the logo of the RCM, and yet the major arteries of Revachol are all recognizable. They shimmer in the Kinema's headlights.
Okay. The logo of the RCM. 3 major arteries. Yeah, we're on a river delta. Apparently the whole city is sitting in a bay on a river delta. Okay. So, wait, look around me.
You catch a faint glimmer from a broken beer bottle in the distance. Sounds. 2 men engaged in a drunken argument, followed by the closing of some distant window.
Ah, Martinez at night.
He smells the air and says, "Where are we on this?" I point at the halogen map.
Let me see.
He takes his ledger for a moment and inspects it.
Right here.
He says, his finger near the top of the map, on a segment of coast jutting out into the green ocean. Seems nice.
No, it does not.
The lieutenant says without optimism. Okay. Kim, what do all these holes mean? I point at the dots on the watermark.
Those are perforations. They represent your record as an officer of the RCM.
Oh.
They are your statistics, as it were. I should have guessed you'd keep a record. Officers often do. Let's take a look.
So I counted, did I say 200 and something perforations? Did I say there were 18 smaller ones and 3 smaller ones? And 3 really big ones? Just guessing now. I'm guessing the first is probably case solved. Cases solved, maybe? I'm not sure what the second one would be. I've got a horrible feeling that the third one might be something darker.
Alpha male officers who are proud of their numbers often do. It's meant.
Sure, rhetoric.
The first row represents your years of service.
Oh,
18 years.
18 years of
Okay,
service.
not bad at all. What did you do before you volunteered?
Holy shit. 18 years. I walked the land telling whores and liars of the end come. No. Probably some boring office job. Feels like I went around apologizing all the time. 18 years? I've been doing this for 18 years.
That's what it says. I might have guessed even longer based on your age. What
Thanks,
did you
Kim.
do all those blissful years of your youth?
I can't remember. Oh, God. Do you really think I have any idea, Kim?
Fair point. Let's move on, shall we? This next row, the one that wraps all the way around, is your number of closed cases. Closed is good. It means finished. You've got, let's see... Wow, more than 200.
Ah, okay. And he's expressed surprise in that as well. Cool. 216 to be exact. Okay.
It's quite a lot, even for someone who's been on the force for nearly 2 decades. Usually, clearing more than 10 cases a year puts you in the 90th percentile of all RCM officers.
Holy shit. Okay, I mean there's a possibility I'm lying, but that's pretty damn good, isn't it? Yeah, that's pretty damn good. Right, so hang on, sorry, I'm just trying to recall what Joyce said. No, I can't remember exactly when she divided up. So hang on, if I've been doing it, so I would have started this. I became a detective in 33, and then so 33 through the 40s, and now we're at 51 now, aren't we? Okay, so I've no idea what I was doing before that, but obviously it predates. Yeah, so obviously I wasn't around. I was too young for the revolution itself. Okay. Huh. So hang on a minute. So you're saying I used to be super cop? Yeah, you're saying I used to be super cop?
Call it what you want. You were a valuable member of your precinct. Now, let's look at the last row.
Now this is what... Okay, my hunch? 3. I didn't react with revulsion on seeing it. I have a horrible feeling that 3 might be the number of times that I discharged my weapon? Maybe? But then again, I don't get the impression that I probably would have reacted with revulsion if it were, if you know what I mean. 3, what could 3 be?
Right. Those are your
Oh,
confirmed
no.
kills. You've got precisely 3 perforations there.
Fuck, it was. It's exactly what I feared it would be. Why would you take pride in that? Why on earth would you mark that alongside your fucking numbers of cases solved? My detective was really an arsehole, wasn't he? Reminder? Shame? I don't know. I don't know what he was thinking. So I'm a killer.
For an RCM officer, especially Precinct 41, which is in the Jamrock quarter, it's rather tame. I mean that in a good way.
Thank you, Kim. He's always there to pick me up, isn't he?
There are certain officers who treat their kills like some kind of ghoulish game. If they do happen to solve a case, it's usually by accident.
It's obvious the lieutenant doesn't think very highly of these officers.
But it seems as though you are, or at least were, one of the good ones. So we have that to be thankful for.
Well, thank you, Kim, but based on what I've seen so far in my case files, I wouldn't say so. I've put 2 people in a wheelchair by the sounds of it. Have you ever killed anyone, Kim?
Yes.
He says, declining to elaborate. How do you handle the strain?
Everyone has their own method of coping. Some more effective, or self-destructive than others.
He gives you a meaningful look. He's referring to my drinking as being self-destructive.
Personally, I find it helps to keep up a few hobbies.
Like what?
Oh, this and that. Let's not get into it now.
I want to know. Well, maybe I should find a hobby.
Why not gardening? You've already got the gloves.
Thanks for this, Kim.
The lieutenant nods.
Let's go.
Right. I'll go turn off the lights.
He presses the remote control key.
You can now see your statistics on your journal page, to the right of the task description.
If anything happens to Kim at the end of the game, I'm gonna fucking riot. Okay. So, sorry, I didn't pay attention to what the tutorial lady just said. Okay. So, let's have a look. Yeah, so I've got a couple of... Do I have 2 points now? Total 2? I should upgrade some stuff, shouldn't I? Pardon me. Hang on. Maybe I should also work on getting another talent point here. Hang on. So, I'm not going to learn advanced race theory after speaking to a literal Nazi up on that fucking thing over there. Fuck that. Kingdom of Conscience, so half light. Reduces half light. Calm water. What does calm water do? Hang on. What is it? Sorry, what does this mean? Bonuses from the thoughts, all endurance white checks, learning cap. So these are stat changes you see when I fail. I get +1 health, +1 morale, +1 experience for every orb clicked. All intellect learning caps raised by 1. So why? Head in the clouds. Is that like a status that I get? Factual memory returns. Coach physical. Kingdom of Conscience. What? Sorry, what's half-light? Half-light. Here. So it's part of my physical tree. Let the body take control. Threaten people. Okay. So I lose 2 points away. It's already 0. No, is it 2? Base? A base of 2? Okay, so I can't threaten people. Half-light is your fight or flight response. It enables you to sense the way situations are going to turn. It injects palpable fear into your heart. Fear that urges you to act before it's too late to act, too late to act ever again. Fear that makes you frighten others. It's the aggression that lets you squeeze every last drop of information out of a witness. At high levels, half-light makes you ultra-attuned to the world. It is a perpetual fear of your own shadow, of someone else's name or scent. You'll be ready, always, to pounce and to physically interrogate passers-by. At low levels, however, you'll find that your survival instinct is lacking and your methods limp-wristed. Those who respect violence will not respect you. Okay. Temporary research bonuses only affect you while you're internalizing the thought. Oh, really, Sheep? Hang on. Temporary research bonus. I see. Factual memory returns. Okay. Oh, I see. So am I misreading the situation then? I don't know what it's going to give me until I get it. Is that what it means? Gotcha. I understand. Sorry, I didn't know that. Thank you, chat. I thought this was the result. Okay. Let's try it then. Let's try to internalize this one. So spend one of my points. Spend 1 skill point to unlock a new slot. Sorry, before I do it, chat, does it matter which slot I pick? Are these related in some capacity? Doesn't matter. Cool, thank you. I'll unlock this one on the left. Okay, and then I'm going to attempt to internalize the kingdom of conscience thought. So that was, for those who didn't see that, my brain acknowledging that I don't appear to be taking sides in the overall political landscape of ideologues who are sort of spouting their whatever, really. The ultimate centrist, it seems, but I don't know, personally I'm feeling that, I don't know. Again, this game is holding up a mirror to you, the player, as you play it, and I don't know what to think. I don't know what to think. But in doing so, I think this gives you this calmness. I think that's what it's trying to say, a calmness to sort of one thing at a time. But at the same time, I'm worried that it will simply defend a status quo. It's not worth defending. I don't know. Let's get it and see what it says. Okay. So, what does it say now? Total 0. Did that change when I did that? Because it's a temporary bonus? Or, in this case, you know. Alright. It costs you a skill point to forget a thought. Oh, really? Okay. You'll see it in the breakdown. -2. Oh, yeah. Cool. Thank you. Bonus from thoughts. What a cool system. Right, where am I going to put that other point? Could put another point into logic. Visual calculus. All the intellect stuff is very useful, it seems. Okay. Endurance for the sake of the corpse. Take the blows, don't let the world kill you. Could do savoir-faire to get the jacket. Sneak under their noses. Do I really care about the jackets? I don't know. Let's put another... sounds boring, but let's put another point into logic, shall we? Yeah. Okay. One more point into logic. So logic 7. Wield raw intellectual power. Deduce the world. Alright. Right, so let's go speak to the witness. So yeah, we still can't go near the body. We can't redo the check without
There
pointing
he
endurance.
still is, looking right through you with his
Lockdowns.
white eyes. The body
failed.
below is entirely dedicated to that corpse smell. Emitting it is all it does now.
Turn away. Let's go go see the witness. Maybe we should speak to Joyce at the same time. She's kind of on the way. Okay. There's an achievement for finishing the game without examining the body. Like, detective? What detective? Oh, fuck. Okay. Anyway, sorry, for those passing through the stream, please note that I'm working on Ready or Not /SWAT 4 bullshittery. It's week 4, and I was hoping to get it done by the end of this week, but as is often the story, it looks like it's going to creep into next week, sorry. I've got the video on the timeline pretty much like end-to-end edited. It's just full of fuck-ups that I need to try and fix. So I'm going through quality assurance, polishing it, basically.
You're back. Good. What can I help you with?
Hello, Joyce. Right, so so I experienced something weird, a weird feeling on having her quote all these individual names of these organizations. So having internalized that thought, can we have another conversation about that? The Strike Harbor, Wild Pines. Tell me about the boat. I have more questions about reality.
More lessons in basic reality? My favorite part of the day. Go ahead, ask me anything.
Okay. So now, plus 12 with the jamais vu, opposite of déjà vu. Must admit, I've never heard of jamais vu before. So where things that are familiar feel randomly new? Is that what it was? Here we go, I roll. If I fail this on 3%.
What is all of this? The scent, the sound, the air.
So what world is this?
What world? The only one, I suppose. The world of matter. And its pale antipode.
The fading pearls of her eyes look to the sea.
The camera of her mind glides over the surface of the water.
Say nothing. So inland empire are like hunches, gut instincts.
Great bodies of water. Forest-covered surfaces. Clusters of light where the cities lie. You've seen the montage. We all have. This world is enough.
She concludes.
There is a term of endearment they coined for it in the DeLorean century, when humanity was high on this world, discovering more and more of it, these archipelagos included.
What is it?
Elysium.
Elysium. Elysium means... Elysium doesn't mean paradise, it means happy place. Happy place. So Elysium, the world needs a term of endearment. This world does not deserve a term of endearment. No. I don't know. So but I mean, the DeLorean century, when humanity was high on this world, discovering more and more of it. But there's nothing left to discover, is there? Now we've fucked it, haven't we? Sorry to get a bit like conceptual on all of us here. With our we fucked it with our stupid monkey bullshit political ideologies. The world as it was, Elysium, sure, but no longer. The world does not deserve a term of endearment. No, not anymore. The second one.
There are those who would call it hell.
What is hell?
A term of hatred that originates, like many such things, with the Mesk petro-fascists.
I have no idea what that is, I'm afraid. I don't feel I've gotten the whole picture yet.
Oh, you want a picture of the world? There is no complete set yet, dear. They're having some trouble reaching orbit.
She raised her finger to her lips. How come?
Great things are difficult to achieve. For now, we're viewing the world from the inside, sideways.
As in, terrestrially, just making our way around on boats. So presumably, we haven't been able to... Have we mastered... Well, she said airship. No, but there are airships. Obviously, we haven't managed the space race. For now, we're viewing the world from the inside, sideways. What shape is this world?
We used to think it was a sphere, but that is
ORG.
Whoops.
Occident Revischol-Grad.
Sorry, I slipped and dropped my pencil on the keyboard. We used to think it was a sphere, but that is beginning to look less and less likely by the day. You wouldn't know it from the tabloids, but the ORG nations have been launching weather balloons into the lower ionosphere since the 30s. The ORG, the Occident Revischol-Grad.
There's a steadily increasing trickle of images. Between the big three scientific contributors, they're piecing together a dark grey corona.
The hell does that mean, a dark grey corona?
Yes. Pale covers 72% of the surface. There are grey flares and prominences, even arcs above entire isolas. The images are blurry, but if there was a sphere in there, it certainly looks like it fractured a long time ago.
What does that mean? Not sure what she means. Pale covers increasing trickle of launching weather balloons to the lower ionosphere. So attempts to get orbital imagery, essentially? High-level imagery. Pale covers 72% of the surface. The ocean? There are grey flares and prominences, even arcs above entire insulas. The images are blurry, but if there was a sphere in there, it certainly looked like it fractured a long time ago. I don't know what she's telling me. The pale, what do you mean, corona?
They say there is a rarefied envelope of matter surrounding the darkened disk of our planet. That is, if we are still living on a planet. Or, to speak more plainly, imagine vast swathes of land disrupted by nothingness. I am sorry, dear. It must sound quite terrifying through the acute encephalopathy. Even scientific positivism isn't entirely convinced about what we're dealing with here.
Okay. Interesting. So this world... Okay, so the... I didn't expect that. I'm going to be honest. I didn't expect... I rather expected that we were going to learn that Revachol alone, the victim of some ancient event, now just like the rest of the world has swanned on into modernity. But by the sounds of it, the edge of human understanding is relatively close, at least when it comes to... As in, they're not off putting satellites and Sputniks or whatever, orbiting everything. By the sounds of it, they're still sort of probing the nature of the world. An envelope of matter surrounding the darkening disk of our planets. That is, if we're still living on a planet. So they understand the concept of a planet. Or to speak more plainly, imagine vast swathes of land disrupted by nothingness. To me, if they... Sorry, forgive me for... maybe I'm just grasping at stuff that I don't understand. To understand the concept of a planet, then does that mean we've been able to observe other bodies in space? That's what the term planet, as in we would look at things in the sky and call them planets, but weirdly we never included Earth in that definition. No, I'm not joking. Okay. Alright, okay.
But this is one of the greatest questions of our time. Maybe when they get the complete set together, it will jolt us out of our rut, bring us together, however naive it may sound.
Okay. A fractured corona. It feels like it's not going to bring anyone together.
You have misimagined it. I don't have the power to convey to you the effect and geometry of the images that depict our world from below low orbit. It's like the crowning of the world. It's insane. Very disco. You'd love it.
Okay. Well, if you say it's disco...
See? Everyone finds something worth holding on to in this world, however wasted its opportunities.
Which is why I mentioned it before. I think that's perhaps why this... So, my private headcanon, perhaps the name of the game is Disco Elysium. So, happy place. Disco happy place. Perhaps everything here is just so fucked that we reach the end of the game and the only sort of silver lining, the only thing we can retreat to, is an ancient faded memory of a time around about the new. You know? As in retreating into... I don't know, escapism. Because the world is really, really fucking complex, and disco is very disco. Okay.
Suddenly, you're conscious of yourself standing there, on whatever this all is. Your arms hang down by your sides. The lieutenant observes you both, silently. He adjusts his glasses.
He knew about this, maybe. You're not reacting with surprise or alarm? You said pale. What is pale?
The pale is not, technically speaking, part of reality.
Yes. Also, I think we've had enough excitement for today. Remember, we have a cadaver to attend to.
That's an interesting response.
Of course, Lieutenant. Let's try something else.
I want to know what this pale is. Kim, you can't... Kim, I don't want to. I want to know what the pale is.
I don't think your colleague would appreciate that. He has already been so patient with this whole exercise. Let's continue with something else, all right? You can ask about anything else in the world. Anything.
Talk to Joyce about the pail without Kim. At the same time, I know that maybe the chat's going to hardcore disagree. I must be careful of falling into the trap of necessary belief. I mean, is any of this even true? I mean, she seems pretty rattled by the concept. Like, if I were, I don't know, if I were being fed this information, oh, in the world, there's nothing over there. There's you just fall off the edge of the world or whatever. It would almost feel like too convenient as something. Like the people in the yachts don't want you to go that way, little Revachol pleb. But no, she seems sufficiently unnerved as well by how they don't truly understand the nature of this world that we're in. They're sending up weather balloons, but they haven't managed orbit. Interesting. I mean, potentially. I mean, is this world... I mean, again, sorry, I know I'm just rattling about bullshit, but is there a potential that this world isn't even real? It's artificial? It's fake? Let's continue with something else. She leans against the railing.
You could sneak back later when the lieutenant is not here, unless you can convince him to step aside.
Okay. Volition 2. Kim trusts you. Ask for Kim to step away when you discuss the pail. No, I don't want to do that, even though I could pass the check. Seems a bit disrespectful to Kim. That's all for now.
Glad to have been of assistance. The little that I know. Anything else?
Thank you, that's all for now. Strange conversation. Strange conversation indeed. Okay. So 72% of the finger quotes planet's surface is covered in something called the Pale, which I kind of assumed just meant ocean, but there's a corona of matter or something? Not part of reality, whatever that means. No chat, I'm not begging Joyce for money. Okay. I like how they've got lines through it like it's your police journal thing. Alright. Close the water lock. The smoker on the balcony. Let's go find the smoker on the balcony. Let's go, Kim. Also, stats to the right. Stats to the right, sorry. Oh yeah, super... Oh yeah, what's this, sorry? Name unknown, rank unknown. Stats of what? Sorry, cop. I see. Oh wait, sorry, I thought... So it's an actual trait. Boring cop, communist. Moralist, good cop, bad cop, honor, people killed, 3. Holy shit, it's even adding years of service, 18. I didn't see this building up here. Superstar cop, boring cop, communist. Moralist. Interesting. Kim wants to talk, did he? Oh yeah. Hello, Kim.
We should think about calling it a day, maybe. The nights are still miserably cold this time of year.
I haven't paid the cafeteria manager for the damages yet.
You should take care of that, then.
I don't have any money.
Let's talk to him anyway. An officer of the RCM shouldn't be sleeping in the street. We'll figure something out.
Cool, Kim's gonna pay. Before we do, let's go over here and and see if the witness is still there. We need to talk to the witness. Okay. Doobie 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 doo. Is this the right way? Where am I going? Exit. No, wait. Nope, I see. I see. Yeah, so she was the woman I was harassing when I was bashing the door. Would I mind raising the volume of my voice, lowering the dialogue options a bit? Am I too quiet? Yeah, I'll turn myself up a little bit. There we go. And lowering the game just a smidge. Hang on. There we go. Let's try that. Cool. Sorry about that. Was I a bit too quiet before? Okay, how did we get up there? There was a way. What was it? It was this way? Then balcony, there we go. Cool, sorry about that, chat. I thought it was okay on the bars. What's this? Physical. A maroon glow of light pollution rises from the east. You hear distant traffic. Night is falling on the city. Alright.
This door is made of metal and appears to be reinforced. Someone here really values their security.
So for those who didn't see it before, there was a man smoking a cigarette up here, but he seemed very nervous about speaking to the police. He gestured to a rock that held a spare key to get into the apartment complex, and logic, well, mainly speaking to the kind lady below with the broom, yeah, so she revealed that he's in room 28. So presumably he does not wish to be seen speaking to the RCM. So not...
No one answers.
Shit.
We should return tomorrow. Tomorrow at 9 p.m.
Oh. Shit, I thought we had it. I thought it was after 9 p.m. I didn't realize it was so tight a deadline. Whoops. Whoops, whoops. No, Talon. It's a detective crime RPG. Sorry, did he say tomorrow? I wasn't paying enough attention then. Okay, we'll go back to the whirling and rags. Right. Where the fuck is my gun? I sold it to a pawn shop and then someone bought it. A woman, apparently. I wonder where my gun is. Oh no, hold on a second. What if there's a possibility that the lady with the skull over there, who did the whole paintbrush across the throat thing against Joyce, what if she's got the gun? What if Joyce is in danger? Oh no. Shit. Oh, what the fuck? Loads of people in here now. Okay. Can I speak to them? Oh no, wait. Hang on. That's Gaston. That's not Rene. He's not wearing a uniform. Don't know who that is. They're just patrons. Wait, there's a karaoke?
Hello again, sweetie.
Hi there. Hi there, Lena. Thank you for the pen, by the way. Oh, loads of people in here. Hello, 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 hello. Ah, yes. Some disco. Some, what is it? Karaoke. Hello, Gart. Yes, about the room that I totally trashed and the money that
Can
I owe
I
you.
help you?
About the money that I owe you.
Yes. Have you got it?
No. I was wondering if we could come to some sort of arrangement for tonight.
Does that arrangement include you paying me what we already agreed you owe me?
I'll pay you back tomorrow. I'm an honest cop.
As a police officer, you must understand that I cannot take you at your word without evidence. Evidence being money. You can't stay here without money.
Fuck. This conversation isn't going anywhere, is it?
Not until you bring me the money.
Okay. I might have something in my motor carriage we can use when you're done here.
Oh, I'm sorry, Kim.
Oh, Lieutenant, we're done here.
Damn it. So, I can't just go begging people for the money. But Joyce is rich, I suppose. Let's go see the carriage then. That's true. I've got the bottles I can hand in at the thing. Got the bag with the bottles. How much money will that give me? Hang on. I wasted a bunch of money spending it on some stupid fucking sunglasses, didn't I? Whoops. Hang on. Thank you, Dre Bluos and Thozzle. Hang on.
The tear machine stands in the corner. A sign says, 1 bottle equals 10 cents.
I
Your
insert my
bottles clunk into the machine, and the
shit.
money appears with a satisfying jingle. You're a richer man now.
Yeah, by 1.1 real. Don't I owe him about like 120 real? I've only got 11. Shit. Oh, sorry, am I painy? Okay. Maybe the pop filter needs a bit of a... I'm too poppy, apparently. I'll turn the microphone slightly further away. Okay. Shit.
Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone, a pull-out toolbox, and the soft glow of the fuel preheater gauge.
I have something here we could sell. Look in the back, in the suspect transport enclosure.
Transport enclosure? Regular people just call it the cage.
I look in the suspect transport enclosure.
The cage at the back of the motor carriage looks rather uncomfortable. 4 shiny hubcaps are stacked against the seat. Their silver edges sparkle in the dark.
I confiscated these 4 a little while back. We can take them to the pawn shop down by the Martinez Canal.
Oh, well thank you, Kim. What are those things?
There are spinner hubcaps, frivolous things you put on your wheels. When the wheels come to a stop, the caps keep on spinning. There's no real use for them, it's just for vanity.
Honestly, that sounds like an amazing physics demonstration.
What do you mean you confiscated them?
A couple of weeks ago, I stopped a young man for going slower than the speed of traffic. Turns out he was some coalition official's son and high.
Okay. So you took his spinners?
Mm-hmm. I took them and arrested him for driving under the influence.
Okay. I get it. I would have confiscated them too. They're mesmerizing. Did he just help himself? Not sure. Don't think you can do that, Kim. Just, you know. Yeah, okay. Fuck. Isn't that corruption?
I don't know. Is it? I was going to take them into evidence, but they weren't necessary for conviction. He never asked for them back.
Okay. Did you want to put them on your machine? I point at the the Kinema.
No, that would be silly. I don't know why I kept them. It doesn't matter. I couldn't put them on this MC anyway. A cop with spinners. That would be outrageous.
Yes. No, just nod.
The spinners shine so bright they reflect on the lieutenant's glasses. He doesn't say anything either.
Well, thank you, Kim. I appreciate your help.
The lieutenant nods as you take the spinners.
Okay. Close the door. Kim's done me a solid. Thank you very much, Kim. Okay. 200. There we go. That'll cover the cost. Cool. Thank you very much, Kim. Pawn shops down here. Right.
Greetings on this fine night. What brings you here?
How come you're still open?
The pawn shop is always open.
Let's see. Electrochemistry 3. Roy's prices are strange. 1, Roy doesn't sleep. 1, composure notice psychedelics. Electrochemistry, so like drugs check. Is Roy high? If yes, then what's he high on?
Feeling warm and enthralled by the movement of light, while the mind continues to race forward. Lucky bastard. He's probably on Pyrrolidon. It's tough to come by on the street.
Pyrrolidon, what is that?
A drug developed by the military to treat and prevent radiation sickness. It has psychedelic side effects, and it makes your eyes turn yellow.
Really? Hence the sunglasses, I guess, indoors. Hi there, Sleuth, or sorry, Sleth even. Thank you, Dreblue, and Thozzle, and Fatality Furon. Thank you, all of you, and welcome. Okay. Sir, could you take off your sunglasses? No. Is it just me, or is it really warm in here? I look around.
I try to keep the shop at a comfortable temperature.
Okay. No, do we... It's pretty obvious you're under the influence, sir. Yeah, okay, we'll do that. It's pretty obvious that you're under the influence, sir.
Rolodon is just something you know, since the People's Pile disaster.
People's Pile disaster? What is that, Encyclopedia?
I was with the Emergency Relief Brigade. Had to take it for radiation sickness.
He's taken it for mental and emotional, not physical pain these days.
The People's Pile? What's that?
A bad idea. Some poor leftist built a particle decay generator in hopes of bringing affordable electricity to underserved communities. It malfunctioned. Radioactive waste everywhere.
Fuck.
Probably some of it in you too.
The People's Pile was a Type U particle decay generator that failed immediately after entering service, releasing radioactive waste into River Esperance.
Fucking hell. Why is it called the People's Pile?
Construction began during the Commune of Revachol. The people continued work on it after the Commune fell. They wanted a cheap source of energy for Revachol West. Needless to say, things didn't work out.
Fuck. Why did it fail?
An emergency valve defect resulted in steam pressure blowing the turbine, taking the fuel containment vessel up in the explosion. Both the faulty design and lack of finances contributed to the catastrophe.
Fucking hell. Tell me more about this emergency relief brigade that you were a part of.
We were an all-volunteer force, self-organized. Tried to help the fire brigades contain the spill.
On the patch, gamma radiation lines crossed with a red drop of blood.
Liquidator. He was a liquidator.
I lived by the river since I was a small boy. The Esperance. Didn't have the art to let it all go to shit without trying to do something to help out.
Yeah, fuck. That would be a smaller version, of course, only affecting Revachol West. A mini Chernobyl disaster for their little communist experiment. Innocent people running forward to help, ignorant of the complex challenges involved with radioactive waste cleanup.
There wasn't much the volunteer force could do, however. We wasted years in the river mud. Years getting sick.
He looks at the spiraling light and stops. Fuck, this game is so dark. It must have been tough. Radioactive cleanup.
There's a reason why everyone's tried to forget any of it ever happened, and why no one has tried to repair or replace the pile. So much disappointment, and early deaths. Cancer mostly. And we knew all that was coming even as we were cleaning up as best we could.
Poor bastards. Whose fault was it that the generator failed? Let me guess. Gonna be some... Well, no, it said that the project started off... fuck. It would be someone who wouldn't be affected directly by it. Bet they fled, bet they fucked off. Refused to take the consequences of their actions.
No one's. Everyone's.
He sighs and shakes his head.
A bunch of poor people built themselves a primitive nuclear reactor.
Okay, maybe not.
Hoping for the best. What do you think is going to happen?
Yeah. Fuck, this sucks. Thank you for telling me.
I like the theory more than the story. Outward movement, not vortices.
Yeah, you gotta get in on those vortices, my man.
I've got something that I'd like to sell.
Yes, we'd like to sell these hubcaps.
The lieutenant steps in and hands him the spinners.
Roy takes the hubcaps from the lieutenant and inspects them. The spinners appear iridescent in the dancing light of his pawn shop.
Yes, these are very, very good. Did you defraud some foreign prince for them? Jump-a-mesque banger? No matter. I'll give you 200 real.
No one was defrauded or jumped, I assure you.
The lieutenant explains as the pawnbroker opens the register and counts the cash.
Of course, I meant no offense. 200 real for you, officer. Delightful doing business with you. Do come again.
Well, thank you, Kim.
Thank you.
He takes the cash, then turns to me.
Here's the 130 real you need for your bill. Do not waste it.
The rest goes in his pocket.
The rest is for him, to compensate for the pain of being separated from his radiant spinners.
Anything else you're thinking of selling?
I don't have anything to sell.
Another time, perhaps.
I'm sorry, Kim. Fuck. Yeah, his spinners. I guess he just wanted them for personal use, I guess. A little dream. Okay. He wasn't going to use them anyway. It's not really the point. Not really the point of having a dream, is it? Okay.
Can I help you?
So about the money that I owe you.
Yes. Have you got it?
Yes, I have the money.
Well?
Okay. Here's 130 real. Here it is. I'm sorry for the trouble.
Great. Thank you, officer. That's all I wanted. Payment for services rendered. If you continue to stay here, I just ask that you please pay your nightly bill in advance starting tomorrow. I'll unlock the electronic lock to your room. All the doors lock automatically at 9 p.m. Please pay for each night in advance starting tomorrow. 20 real per night.
I'll take a room here too.
He opens his wallet.
Of course. Always happy to have officers from the RCM as guests. Anything else I can do for you?
He takes the money and hands him a keyring. God damn, this game is such a bummer. Yeah, thank you, Kim. Yeah, my character's such a huge piece of shit. Now Kim paid for it. Okay. Let's go to the, yeah.
This is the door to the room you redecorated.
Good night, Lieutenant.
Just a moment. We should talk about our progress on the investigation. Let's go out to the balcony.
Let's go.
The air outside is brisk. The lieutenant is silent for a moment. He listens to the traffic hum. Then,
Now then, we should talk about the investigation. But I also feel you're a bit hazy on the RCM. Our role here, our rights, our jurisdiction, basically.
He lights a cigarette. I didn't know you smoked, Kim.
I have a cigarette every night when I go over my notes. It's something of a ritual.
oh man, he looks so devastatingly cool with that cigarette.
Electrochemistry, shut the fuck up for like 2 seconds, please. Can I just delete you as a thought in my brain? Okay. I think I might want to pick up smoking. No. How did you get so cool, Kim? Yeah, why not? Let's hit him with that. See how he reacts. How did you get so cool?
You mean this? This isn't cool. It's an unnecessary trial of will, and unhealthy.
He flicks the ash. The light of his cigarette illuminates a fleeting smile.
Keeping the habit within the parameters he's given himself takes a lot of focus. It would be easier to simply quit. Yet, were he to quit, he would lose the cool factor. This man relishes his cool quite a bit below it all.
Yeah. Kim is cool. Okay. Kim is cool, whereas I'm a massive, consistent fuck-up. Right. The debriefing.
Yes. It's been a long and eventful day.
Yes, it has. So, what are our powers exactly? The RCM?
They're quite limited, actually. The power officers of the Revachol Citizens Militia exercise most frequently is imposing fines of up to 1,000 real for offenses, in accordance with an interdepartmental schedule.
Okay. Okay. Wait, why not more?
The RCM's primary role is to ensure safety. We are not really supposed to play any part in the economic structure of Revachol.
Yeah, we're just minor fucking elements. Very limited power, really. Fuck. What else?
We can arrest people, of course, but rather than bringing someone in directly, it's preferable to serve a station cold sleep. It prevents confusion and overcrowding.
Okay. So how can you be sure that the arrestee will show up?
You can't. Those who don't show up become fugitives, though, and have fewer legal rights when they are eventually caught. It's about power projection. Thus far, they seem to mostly show up.
Yeah. Makes sense. And if someone resists?
As you may have gathered from the fact that we are expected to carry a record of our kills, like the one in your watermarks, we are permitted to use whatever force is necessary, and strongly admonished not to abuse that power.
Okay. What happens to the people we convict?
We don't convict. We arrest and send them to coalition government courts in Couron and La Delta. The prosecution works off our testimonies and records, which is why it's paramount to keep them.
He taps his coat pocket, where he keeps his notes. So you're saying that in a few weeks' time, some poor clerk working in a court for the coalition is going to go, docket number 286, the hanging man, picks off a disgusting piece of bog roll from the back of the fucking clipboard, picks up notes which are soaked in literal piss, and be like, what the fuck? Great. Okay. So if I kill someone while on duty?
You have to supply compelling evidence for why it was necessary to use lethal force. In these cases, your partner is usually your witness.
So my partner was previously someone called JV, according to my records. Where's JV? Who's JV? JV and TH, not my partner, but someone else who was there. I don't know who JV or TH are.
Not a good position to be in, by the way. Internal Affairs handles these cases thoroughly, by cross-examining you for inconsistencies. It is hard to cover for anyone, which is for the best.
And who makes these rules?
The coalition government, and the moral intern more broadly.
Moral intern? Moral intern.
The RCM was formed by the coalition government to restore order in the international zone after the revolution. So we did. Now we attempt to maintain that order. No more, no less.
His gaze is absently fixed on a window. Below that just went dark.
Or perhaps it is better to say we were allowed to form. It's a point of contention whether the citizens of Revachol or the coalition government founded the RCM.
Not sure why it would be a point of contention. Surely the powers that be would need to strictly specify that it came from the people. Legitimacy is going to, well, especially in the face of fucking cleaning up a communist revolution, legitimacy is everything. For their sake, I hope the RCM was formed by the people. Okay. Let's say it was the citizens of Revachol, let's say it was the coalition government. Yeah. The people started it, yeah. So yeah, it was the citizens of Revachol.
Be sentimental if you like. Either way, the moral intern leases us the right to keep the peace in this city, and they will take it away if we misuse it.
Yeah, which means they have the real power.
Or if they think you do.
Moral intern. What is it? Lease is a very strange term that you just used.
The Moralist International are the world's largest political organization. You know who they are. They have been running this place after the revolution failed.
No. No, I really don't. That's how bad it is here. Point at my head.
Okay. There are a union of center-left and center-right parties across the Real Belt. Our coalition government is just one of its many projects. They also run the ICP, EPIS, most intergovernmental organizations in the world.
Okay, now I didn't know any of this. What is their symbol?
Interesting question. It's a blue forget-me-not. Their motto is love, compassion, self-discipline. I think you can gauge what they want you to think of them from that.
Yeah, that's creepy.
Something kind and usual. Something almost self-explanatory. Something like the dark blue, serious color of the early night sky above.
What was their name again? Sorry. A union of centre-left and centre-right parties across the Real Belt. Our coalition government is just one of their many projects. The Moralist International. The world's largest political organisation. I find this surprising. I need to know more. Like, in my brain, I would have expected, I don't know, like a coalition of nations. No, I need to know more. I don't. So who's holding the reins of power is, I suppose, my real question. Sorry, what do they believe in?
What do they believe in? They are Dolorians. They believe they continue the humanist project set forth by Her Innocence Dolores Day 4 centuries ago. Others say they are just technocrats.
Those others say they continue the humanist project set forth by Dolores Day.
Who was Dolores Day?
A historic figure? The author of the modern age? You will have to look elsewhere for opinions. The subject of humanism is too abstract for me.
What do you think of them, the organization?
The moral intern are a fact. I try not to have opinions on facts until they change. And it doesn't look like that's about to happen.
I have an opinion on the moral intern. Conclude.
Do you?
The lieutenant arches his brow, then pulls on his cigarette. It's a slim white thing in his fingers. So my opinions are, things are bad out there. I point to the city. We need them here, giving us the right to police Revachol. 2, they've done an awful job here. Have you seen this place? This isn't humanism. 3, we're stooges of the world's biggest bourgeois organization protecting bourgeois rights. Bourgeoisie rights. 4, mutter silently. Immigrants, liberals, kips, fucking, men are turning into women. 5, on second thought, I don't have an opinion. Forget about that. Two, they've done an awful job here. This is it? Sorry, since when? When have the moral interns had control? Since the coalition's occupation? This is it? This is what they've built? They've just set up an ongoing, just repeat the status quo? They've just leased... fuck. No, 2, definitely. Maybe 3 were stooges of the world's biggest bourgeois organization protecting bourgeoisie rights. Well, that sounds a bit too like the communist answer. As in, that's using communist rhetoric, isn't it? No, I think it's 2, really. Again, sorry, I feel like a broken record, chat. Apologies for those watching regularly. There is no one fighting for Revacholians. You've just got the city that's been broken up into pieces and sold off to hyper-capitalists, essentially. And by the sounds of it, it's these people that are doing it. Only the RCM. But as he says, and the RCM are limited to what we can do. Just like a maximum fine of 1,000, that's it. You arrest people, you just send them off to the moral interns. Or their system. They've done an awful job. This is terrible. Like, you want, again, a broken record, sorry. You want to get Revachol, jewel of the Isolandic, whatever it is, you want them to get back up on their feet. You want strong Revacholians. You want its own courts and its own system. You want its own police officers. You want it to be strong and powerful so that they can sort of work with all the rest of the world forward into modernity. But they just essentially held everything down. No, number 2, for sure. They've done an awful job. Awful job.
We are in what is called the twilight of international law. The laws we claim to enforce come from the MI. Without them, we are simply vigilantes.
Vigilante's just a word. Fucking... Vigilante's okay by me, or vigilante sounds bad. 3, maybe we should make our own law. Well, that's just too naive. So, actually vigilantes is okay with me. No, that 1 is not my answer. Okay, so... What, you shouldn't just have random citizens. You need laws, but you need... you need fuck. You need the authority from the people. So, yes, okay, so hang on. So, number 2, vigilantes sounds bad. Sounds bad. Am I just complaining about the word? 3, maybe we should make our own law. 3 is my answer, but under the situation it seems hopelessly naive. 3, maybe we should make our own law.
Spoken like a revolutionary, not a cop. But hypothetical aside, in Martinez we already are vigilantes. Yeah. At least the Union thinks so. I expect our job here to prove quite challenging.
So what are we even doing, Kim? What are we even doing here? It feels futile, everything we're doing. We're just circling the drain. Revachol will be exactly like this 30 years from now. Unless somebody does something. Say nothing. Look off into the night.
The dying lights of the city shimmer below. Slowly, like luminous clouds, they pass on his lenses. The lieutenant looks at his slim cigarette, contemplating the next drag. An aerostatic passes overhead, the whiskers of its floodlights on the ground below. Kitsuragi's glasses light up as he looks to the sky. 2 glowing circles.
They really don't like us here. And the mouth on that kid, Kuno. It's different inland, in Jamrock and the GRIH.
Why are they like this?
It's our fault for leaving this place to the dogs, to the Union, to the company. Not daring to come here more often. This place has fallen between the cracks, the jurisdictions of our 2 precincts.
Let's see. And in Jamrock and GHRH?
We run this city. West of the river is RCM land.
He looks at the dark silhouette of the equestrian monument cutting into the night sky.
It's incredibly hard. Human beings are... But we are in control, and it's worth it. The organization works, our systems work. If they didn't, the city would disintegrate.
Let me just read that again, sorry. They really don't like us here. In Martinez, it's different inland, in Jamrock and in the GHRH. GRIH. He pulls on the cigarette. To the Union, to the company, not daring to come here more often. Okay. West of the river is RCM land. What, past the lock over there? We won't change anything here. I hope our investigation will help improve the situation here. I mean, ultimately that's it, isn't it? We're just gonna take things one step at a time. There's a murder to solve, at the very least. Hopefully our investigation will at least improve something here. Do some good.
Me too. But I wouldn't count on any drastic changes in our lifetimes.
No.
He is very tired, but the dark circles under his eyes make him look younger, not older.
How do you think today went?
Well, you were so hungover that you couldn't keep it down when we approached the hanged man. So we didn't even inspect the body. But we performed a thorough search of the premises of the crime scene. That's great.
Yeah. Okay. So number one, I generally prefer to start with searching the scene, then moving on to dealing with the dead body. 2, I'm sorry I couldn't do more today. I'm just not a very good cop, am I? 3, say nothing. Just look at the city. Just say nothing.
As for the interviews, we weren't able to find the union leader, Everard Clare, much less interview him. So that's on the to-do list for tomorrow. We talked to Joyce Messier, but didn't get any information from her. I have a feeling Joyce knows how dangerous the situation really is. We have to get her to talk to us.
Yeah, now that I reflect on it, we really didn't do much today to related to the actual murder beyond collect some basic. Today was more world building, wasn't it? Just trying to understand the world in its factions. But yeah, related to the murder itself, we couldn't get anything out of Joyce because I couldn't find my police badge, and therefore she wouldn't really speak to me.
If Kim is emphasizing something this much, it really must be important.
Above all, though, today was exhausting. What's with all the running? You run a lot. Is that a standard Precinct 41 practice?
That's how we roll in Precinct 41. No, I don't like to waste time, you know? My mind moves fast. The rest has to try and keep up.
It's impressive, especially for a man your age. And in those hills.
He nods thoughtfully, tapping his finger on his cigarette. Was that a joke, Kim? Did you just make a joke? Let's celebrate. Let's drink. No, let's not do that.
Nice shoes, by the way. I like the green. Goes with the orange.
He looks at your snakeskin shoes and smiles. Thank you, Kim. Okay. No. He's joking that my shoes are unusual. I'm wearing snakeskin shoes. Okay. Well, thank you for this.
Yeah, it's getting very cold now. Let's go.
Okay. We have another skill point to spend. He pulls out. He puts out the stub of the cigarette and looks to the door. Okay. Well, that's almost perfectly a good time to, almost on the 2-hour mark exactly. But let's go to bed and see if anything, hang on. See if anything happens. What an extremely cool game. Yeah, double check it's saved. See you in the morning, Kim. Okay. Take care, Kim. Right.
The bed is cold and not particularly inviting, but it's yours. The sheets look awful.
That's true. No time to rest yet. While Kim's in bed, we could run and speak to Joyce. What do you think, chat? I'm very curious. Let's quickly do a big save. And then run and speak to Joyce. So whilst Kim has retired into his room... Okay. So Kim didn't want me to speak to Joyce about something, and he seemed like he knew. He wasn't reacting to something strange that Joyce said. So I am curious. Even though it's freezing. Let's quickly sneak out. She's not that far anyway. So Joyce was describing the nature of the world, and it surprised me to learn that the nature of the world is still a bit mysterious. Apparently weather balloons are being sent up and discovering the world is covered in 72% of something called the Pale. Whatever that is. Hello, Joyce.
You're back.
Hello.
Good. What can I help you with?
I have some more questions about reality.
More lessons in basic reality? My favorite part of the day. Go ahead, ask me anything.
Now that we're alone, what is Pale?
Are you sure you're sure? Your colleague seemed adamant.
Yes. What is the Pale?
Okay. The Pale is the most dominant geological feature of the world, Detective. The separative tissue between the islas. It is the inter-islary mass.
The ocean? The ocean. You're just describing the ocean, no? Isola. Those are the islands, no? What is an Isola?
Isola is a Messinian word for a continent of matter, enveloped on all sides by the Pale. Also, isolation, or landmass. We used to believe there was only one. In the last 4 centuries, we have discovered 7.
Continents. Continent of matter, enveloped on all sides by the Pale. Okay. We used to believe there was only one. Same. I mean, same as, we were living on our continents. Then we fucked off in a boat. Found the new world. Is that what she's describing?
Mundi, Seol,
Seol,
Samara, Ilmara, Grad, Katla, and this, Insulinde.
Okay. And Insulendi is...
An oceanic isola. It comprises mostly of water. Muindi is the largest, Katla the coldest, Insulinde the bluest. What can I say? Each is perishing and dear.
She's just describing the continents. Mundi is the largest. Katla is the coldest. Insulendi the bluest. So like Pacific continents, Katla the coldest, or like the Canada? Mundi the, as in American? Mundi the largest? As in like, I don't know. Each is perishing and dear. But what's the Pale? What is she describing? Just the oceans?
Achromatic, odorless, featureless. The Pale is the enemy of matter and life. It is not like any other, or anything in the world. It is the transition state of being into nothingness.
The negation of being.
The negation of being?
That's right. The negation of being.
She tightens her hood around her neck. It's cold outside. What are its physical qualities?
It's difficult to describe, or even measure. Something whose fundamental property is the suspension of properties. Physical, epistemological, linguistic.
Temporal?
The further into Pale you travel, the steeper the degree of suspension, right down to the mathematical. Numbers stop working. No one has yet passed the number barrier. It may be impossible.
If we're surrounded by the Pale, how do we get from Isola to Isola?
Oh, it is so difficult for us.
Her words deflate, sounding like a sigh.
A squall of birds. Hardware operating in the harbour. Firm. Self-evident.
It is possible to force dimensions on the Pale. In modern times, we can even compress its latitude, bouncing radio waves from one end to the other, shortening the path. But it is still hard for humans to navigate the Pale without getting lost, or having our minds damaged.
Okay. The Pale can damage the mind. So is she saying that... So she's describing continental Isola, so continental like land masses with extremely different properties that humans can travel between, but it means negotiating a corona of anti-something, well, it sounds like it drastically changes physical properties. She didn't specify time. Yeah, like a void, like a... Okay. And so they thought there was only one, and then presumably they've broken through and made contact with others, like little bubbles of matter that exist. Not changing, erasing. Strange. The Pale can damage the mind?
Extensively.
How?
Some say the damage stems from extreme sensory deprivation. Others argue that Pale somehow consists of past information that's degrading, that it's rarefied past, not rarefied matter. They call it the blend over of the self. The Pale does not only suspend the laws of physics, but also the laws of psychology, maybe history even. The human mind becomes over-radiated by past.
So how the fuck do you travel? She said flattening it. How do you travel from Isola to Isola?
Who says and who argues?
Yeah, who's this? Who are you describing?
The logical positivists say the dialectical materialists argue.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Lady, I need to go work on this bullshittery. Do we have time for... Hang on. What does this radiation feel like?
It feels terrible. Absolutely terrible. International standards strictly limit civilian travelers to 6 days of pale exposure per year.
Let's see. 6 days of pale exposure per year?
It's more for her. Way more.
It's more for her, way more. By merit of law or some property? What does that mean? It's more for her, way more. You're not a civilian passenger.
No, nameless detective of the Citizens Militia. I am a member of the Entreprenetic Business Class. I'm cleared and trained for 22 days of pale transit annually.
Ah. Are you over-radiated?
Up to my gills, officer.
Okay. Okay. Crazy. Fucking weird. This world is weird. Right. So, hang on. What is entrophonetic?
Entreprenetics
Entreprenetics,
is
sorry.
the scientific study of the pale, or a recent iteration of it by way of grad. The study of the pale reaches back 6,000 years. The Pericarnassians called it the Western Plain.
They had not traveled the entire circumference of the Pericarnassian Super E-Solar. It was not merely in the west, it was everywhere, even then, surrounding them.
Did they cross it? The Western Plain?
There are signs of pretermodern crossings. Successful navigation of the pale relies not just on technical know-how, but intensive psychological preparation. Some of these tactics have been known for thousands of years.
Okay. Strange. So, if that is true, then perhaps that means that... So I know I'm just reaching and speculating here because I don't truly understand. So, if that is true, then modern crossings of the Pale would no doubt discover probably wildly deviating cultures of humans, if they did, as in if they were all separated on their own separate little petri dishes. Well, just like, I suppose, it's analogous to modern continents, isn't it? Travelling around on Earth was possible for hunter-gatherers of the past, arguably easier, considering that the climate of Earth back in the day allowed you to make coastal hunter-gathering trips all the way from fucking, there's a reason why humans were already in America, for example. But just like then, relatively modern, Europeans would arrive in America to discover extreme deviances in culture, to the point that guns and steel met people wandering around with painted bodies and like who weren't roaming around on horseback. I'm wondering if something analogous would have been present in this world, where travelling from one Isola to the other through the Pale, you'd find humans, but crazy different cultures of humans. Okay. I wonder how long it takes to travel through the Pale to get to another Isola. What has Entrophonics changed then?
Nothing. We remain powerless before the Pale. The only real advance in Pale transit is the speed with which an aerostatic craft can pierce it. Less exposure leads to less effects later.
I see. So we have been able to quickly move through the Pale. Quickly. Yes, Kato. Weren't people travelling through continents because there were ice bridges between them that melted? Precisely that. Precisely that. You could follow down the coast, and obviously because things were, if not merely frozen, things were often warmer. Therefore, it was relatively easy to move through tougher locations. It varies, of course, greatly. But, sorry, a good example would be England. Here, where I live. People, how did they get to England? They just fucking walked. The channel froze. The channel froze on particularly cool winters, and you could just walk. If you had strife or problems or whatever on the mainland in, Normandy or whatever, you could just walk straight to England, and surprise, there's no one here. You know, you can set up your hunter-gathering, whatever here. Yeah. Humans got, on Earth, we got all over the world because we just walked. We just, we didn't necessarily need complex boats and all that to do it. We just walked. But why would you want to? Yeah. England's a bit shit, innit? No, why would you want to? Food. You followed the food. You followed the animals, you followed the crops. Well, not the crops, you followed the berries. Food. We couldn't really afford to stick around in one place. We had to just follow the food. Okay. So we remained powerless before the Pale. Aerostatic craft. What do you mean there, sorry?
Hybrid airships, Detective. Conventional rotors or jet engines no longer add velocity after the point of reference for motion is suspended, once you've crossed from near Pale to far Pale. In essence, we throw them in and they come out the other end. If we throw them precisely.
I see. And if we do not?
Then they don't.
Fuck.
Gone, like a skipping stone beneath the surface.
Fuck, that's terrifying. Jesus. So what? A craft with hybrid... So she said hybrid jet engines. So conventional rotors or jet engines. Hybrid aircraft. So by that, I imagine your airship is going like going along with rotors, and then it needs to pick up speed with jet engines to fling yourself at speed towards the Pale and fucking hope that you make it out on the other side. How frightening. And if you don't, if you sink... Oh, okay. How much well, she said 72% Pale compared to the world.
The Pale outweighs reality 2 to 1. There is more Pale than there is matter, and the ratio is slipping.
Fuck. Slipping how?
What do you think, Detective?
It's shrinking. It's shrinking.
Oh no, Detective.
No?
It's not. One of the few measurable effects of the Pale is that it is expanding at an unknown rate.
Fuck.
An intuitive conclusion of that development is that one day the Pale will cover everything. But this sort of talk is mostly left to extremists.
My god, this game is so dark in every way. Even reality itself is ending. Cover everything. I just stay silent.
Most people, and indeed most private and government sector organizations, entire civilizations and religions even, find handy ways to ignore or downplay that knowledge. I suggest you do the same.
Fuck. Do we have a time frame? Which is the largest solar, and can we go there? Fuck. Okay. So the edges of the world are closing in, essentially. The world is shrinking. Is it here? I look around. There's a...
No, Detective. We're safe. It begins there, 6,000 kilometers to the north, and even more to the south, east, and west. You are in the middle of the Isla.
6,000? 6,000? Hang on. $3,700 miles. That's nothing. That's nothing. That's like, sorry, like insofar as like total fucking shit. And we're in the middle. Okay. Fuck. And point north, hang on.
An uproar of matter, darling. Rising into the Pale. Rolling. Evaporating even. A great vision. The area of transition between the world and the Pale is called Porch Collapse.
Porch Collapse.
Imagine a grey coronal mist, cold vapor marked by spores of an opportunistic microorganism. A mold that's adapted to grow at the edge of the unrest. It's the most disco thing you will ever see.
A grey coronal mist, cold vapour marked by spores of an opportunistic microorganism. A mold that's adapted to grow at the edge of the unrest. Creepy. Really creepy.
Yes, sweet reality. But before we do, tell me, Detective,
She stomps her foot.
is this the first time you're hearing this? Do you really not remember anything?
Nothing. Just alcohol fumes and blackout.
Then tell me, what do you think of the Pale?
So my options are 1, it's terrifying. 2, you were right, it's disco. 3, it will end all life. 4, that we continue to persist at all is a testament to our faith in one another. 5, its advance can only be stopped with immediate, total, ruthless communism. What? 6, a powerful anti-communist force, perhaps too powerful, but still, they have it coming. What? What's this guy? What are, what are these options? 7, I'm worried, I have to say. It doesn't sound very liberal to me. 8, I don't know how you've all survived with this. It's a huge accomplishment. 9, who am I to think of anything of it? Those are some weird fucking choices. Okay. I mean, what do I think about it? Well, the obvious. 1, it's terrifying. But if you'll forgive me, I feel that my... What do I think about it? Oh, fuck. Like, I mean, it's analogous to what we've... not really, but here on Earth, we have a similar problem. Because, ultimately... Okay. It sounds a bit trite, I apologise. Climate change. The demon of climate change here on Earth is coming for us. But, like, what do we do when it comes to it? Because, like, we can as in our advancement as a species, we're dealing with the fact that, okay, the world isn't necessarily being consumed by a fucking crazy shrinking fog, which is going to end us, but at the same time, if we don't do something, we are in serious fucking trouble. We've got to do something. Do we ration ourselves and carefully sort of hold back our advancement, or with advancement, is there something through the mist of unknowing? Is there some advanced technology that's just around the corner that if we just reach a little bit harder, we can get there? Some solution that if we just keep pushing forward, despite the damage that we're doing, will we grasp it and grab it and save us? As in some energy solution that is going to save us from having to burn fossil fuels for energy, that sort of thinking. In this case, us fucking living in this, I suppose now that I think about it, it's not really analogous to the Pale, is it? But, I mean, I'm just thinking, like, what do we do, like, in our attempt to sort of fight against this thing? The people of Revachol, well, not Revachol, just the people of this world, have just got to do their best to keep sort of powering forward, to see if they can find some way, some technological edge over it before it's all over, I'm guessing, if you see my logic here. I mean, that's what we should be aiming for, just some way to truly understand it, to save us, but maybe, or maybe we can't. But, sorry, regarding these options here, what do I think, Mr. Detective, against the ending of the world? It's terrifying, you were right, it's disco. It will end all life. I don't know how you've all survived with it. It's a huge accomplishment. Honestly, 8. It is a huge accomplishment. With this, not merely the existence of the Pale and navigating it successfully, but also, I suppose, the knowledge that, it is a huge accomplishment. That we continue to exist, number 4, is a testament to our faith in one another. That's also, yeah. Yeah, I'm going to go with number 4. That we continue to persist is a testament to our faith in one another. I'm just worried that the word faith is the emphasis there, and it's going to be some religious thing. Okay. That we continue to persist at all is a testament to our faith in one another.
Mm-hmm.
Her eyes tense, crow's feet radiate from them. She observes you, her bloodshot eyes and swollen face. I see. From the pale, her exposure to it?
You really didn't know. This does not spell good for the investigation, Detective. If you don't know even this, then...
She stops mid-sentence. Yes, I'm in serious trouble. I'll handle it. It's under control.
I hope so. I truly do. If I may suggest, hold on to your colleague, Kitsuragi. I ran a check on him and he is very competent. In the meanwhile, you have me. I will assist you in any way I can, even if we have to do it one basic term at a time.
She gives you a slight bow. Thank you, Joyce. Okay. How creepy. How very creepy.
Glad to have been of assistance. The little that I know. Anything else?
Oh, sorry, is it my face? Sorry, I thought it was her face. Hang on. Her eyes tense, crow's feet radiate from them. She observes you. Oh, sorry, your bloodshot eyes and swollen face. Sorry, my bad. I thought it was saying her eyes, crow's feet radiating from them. Okay. Okay, well, thank you. It's all for now. God damn. Creepy concept. Okay, so we've learnt that the world is nothing like it. It's certainly not similar to Earth, as in it's certainly not a planet spinning and you can just safely drive your boat from one side to the other. By the sounds of it, it's a bunch of globs of reality, continent-sized globs of reality, that Revachol is in the center of one of them, and that in order to get from, and you can indeed travel from each blob to the other, but it requires, well, previously it required in prehistoric times, pre-modern times, careful self-discipline and a little bit of boat technology. And then in modern times, rapid, fast-moving hybrid airships that sort of bolt like stones skipping on the surface of a lake to get to another lake, I guess, without sinking. Very creepy. Yeah. Little islands of matter, yeah, between fog of unreality. Okay. Anyway, well, thank you for watching, everyone. Sorry, apologies there. I'm going to go and get on with work today. This evening should be a bit of holdfast, but goddamn, this game has sucked me in hard. Right. So I've got to go edit SWAT 4 and Ready or Not bullshittery. So I'll just post a link. Hang on. Doggy. Flat doggy. Right, save it before I forget this time. There we go. Right. Cool, we good? Nice. So, let me link you this. So, you don't have to have a look at this, but this is basically a breakdown of what the fuck I'm actually doing. It's a Google sheet containing all of the fuck-ups that I'm trying to fix for this bullshittery. So, I need to go get some lunch, open up this document, open up Adobe Premiere. Where is it? Hang on. Here it is. So, hopefully that link should work. Yes, so go and get lunch, open Adobe Premiere, and just get to fucking work. Yeah, just get on with work. So the day consists of just hardcore editing in Premiere and Adobe After Effects, trying to get the bullshittery ready for you. So yes, if you're a patron or a Twitch sub, thank you. Well, thank you as always for your kindness, and I will try to get the video to you guys first as soon as I can. Thank you, Hollow Game, and thank you, Char Char and Matter Gaming. Right, hang on. Let me have a look and see. Are any of my clanmates doing anything you might want to watch? Let's have a look. Quite a few of them. Let me hand you over to... So Dinkle, Jinx, Alistair, Digby, and Dodge are all on. Let me leave you with Dodge. What's Dodge doing? Dodge is doing a bit of RimWorld. So I'll leave you with Dodge and you can see what he's doing then. So, thank you again. Have a lovely, lovely afternoon and I hope to see you later this evening. I'm going to get on with editing. Thank you all.